folks, I'm going to start with now the first of two Told You So videos. This first one will go with KYLIE Minogue. It's on the back of a video I did at the weekend, and then we're going to go to my old friend Rylan Clark. We'll start with KYLIE first. She was on The Audience with, I think it was on Sunday night, and I said, I think it'll be crap. I'm expected to see her mime. Now I know a lot of people like her, she's a flavour of the month. Lots of people liked her in there, no doubt about that. I mean, it looked something of a gay pride convention to me. Not that I've got a problem with it, but unbelievable it was. There was very few straight people in there. Anyway, looks like they enjoyed themselves. Looks like there was no problem there. And I did see a bit of it. Now, I'm not a KYLIE lover, as I've said in the past. But I said, you can't have a moan about her on here, which is what I did, or pull her, without them watching her. You've got to watch and see if you're right or wrong. And I said, if I'm wrong, I'm going to come on here and hold my hands up. I've had a couple of KYLIE lovers come on here on the back of last week's video, said she's brilliant, she's fantastic, she's great, she always sings live, she never mimes, she's done well at Glastonbury, she's just gone down really well at Las Vegas and all of that. I knew all that anyway. As I said last week, the person only needed to say to me, I like KYLIE, and I think, Grumpy, you're wrong. That's all they needed to say. But they sent me about 8 different comments. No problem, they was nice, they was cordial, but one comment to do. You don't need to tell me 8 times how much you love her. But anyway, you do. I'm not over keen. 3 songs that I don't mind, but I'm not over keen. Anyway, in the process of being fair, and because I always do what I say I'm going to do, I thought I'd listen to a bit of it. And a bit of it's all I've heard. For 3 little bits of it, 3 snippets yesterday. This is what I will say. No, I don't think she was miming. First song I weren't sure about, but I don't think she was. Her voice didn't sound brilliant. She wasn't miming. I don't think she was lip-syncing at all. But what I will say, and anyone can challenge me that wants to, but you're in the wrong, she was singing to a backing track of her own voice. And if you don't know that, you must, well, you don't know what you're looking at. All you have to look at is this. When she's talking to the crowd or looking away, I've got a mic down here, and you can still hear her voice. Not a backing singers, but her. You know that all the way through it, she's singing to a backing track of her voice. Now that's going to make anybody sound better. Now, I will also tell you, I read something many a year ago and I've never forgotten this. It was off old Pete there, Pete Waterman. You know, one of the Stock Aitken Waterman boys, the main mouth, I mean it in a nice way, the mouthpiece of the 3 of them. And he said at the time, oh, we don't have any of our acts singing live. No, he said, I don't want anybody singing live, especially KYLIE. KYLIE really wants to. She'd love to sing live, but she's not good enough. She's not awful, but she's not good enough. And I like my singers to sound absolutely brilliant. They've got to sound like they do on the record. And to get that sound, the only way to do it is to mime. He said, because I want people to buy into the reality of them all being brilliant singers. It sells more records. He said, some may call me wrong. He said, but that's the way I look at it. And I read that many a year ago. And he's right. I mean, KYLIE's never had the strongest voice. As I say, she was singing over a track of her own perfect voice, because obviously it's done in the studio. And in part, she didn't sound as good. You can hear that she's not got the range that she was imparting from the studio thing. And it wasn't as nice, it wasn't as clear, it wasn't as powerful in parts. She's not got the strongest voice in the world, and she's not always on point. Didn't sound awful by any means. And I take what you say about her being a great entertainer, because showman-wise, she looked great. And as I say, the crowd loved her. They were all over it. But she's got her own voice in the background virtually all the way through the concert from the bits of 3 songs I seen, and she's singing over them. And like I say, you know she is, because when she stops singing, when the mic's down here and you can still hear her voice, that's telling you there's a backing track there. And they're not just bringing it in every now and again. That backing track's the whole song, and she sings over it in parts, and in parts she just lets you hear the backing track. So she wasn't cheating in that, she wasn't lip-syncing, she wasn't miming. But she still have cheated in my eyes, because you don't get the great singers singing over their own voice that's been recorded in the studio. You don't get that. Okay? So, told you I'd listen, and I did. Some might disagree with me. I'm sorry if you do disagree, but I've seen it with my own eyes, I've heard it with my own ears, and I know I'm right. And I always remember what Pete Waterman said.